I believe the prosecution has a statement.
Your Honor, after my conversation with Commissioner Scorpio and in light of the new evidence and suspect, prosecution has no choice but to move that all charges against Anna Lavery be dropped.
Oh, no. Thank you, Mr. Baldwin. Case dismissed.
Thanks, Jake.
Thank you. You're the one that won the case. I only bought you some time.
That was enough.
I'm just glad that it's all clear.
You too. I suppose I owe you an apology, sir. Let's not get too mushy about this, but look, next time. Oh, the next time.
There's not going to be a next time.
Congratulations, sweetie.
I couldn't have done it without you. You're free! And you did it!
Well, I had a bit of help. Oh, I told you before, that's what friends are for. Well, that distraction on the staircase out there saved a lot of problems with me and Dee.
That's because we Irish are very tricky. Is that what it is?
Come over here and hug your wife. It's over.
That's it. It's done. We're free, honey.
I never thought I'd see the day.
What do you want to do now?
Jake, you were wonderful.
What do you mean?
Wonderful.
Do you want me to take you home, or?
I haven't the slightest idea what I'm going to do next. I need time to get my bearings.
Okay. Well, I've got to go down to the police station and see Pop. They took him in with Dino and Dimitri.
No.
Okay.
You're both free to go.
Robert.
Thank you. Saved my life. Thanks so much.
You're done. I was just doing my job. I've done it for anyone. I have a confession from Dino, and I intend to charge Demetra as the accomplice.
Brilliant. I want to hear every word of this.
All right. It all started when I came up with some samples of hair in the drawer where you kept your gun. I decided to send this to a lab in New York that specializes in DNA work, together with samples of both of your quaffs and Julian's.
Oh, yeah?
The results proved that a man had replaced the gun in the drawer, but it wasn't you and it wasn't Julian. That set me off on Dino's trail.
Oh, what then?
Well, we had a partial ID from a nurse, but later on I got confirmation from one of my own people. However, the real kicker was this old bag lady that helped me make the suspect. The descriptions fit Demetra. So I did a bit of checking into her background. 30 years ago, she disappeared out of Victor's life for a period of 7 months and gave birth to a son.
Dino?
The news was kept from Victor because at the time he was still married and she feared for the boy's life.
I don't blame her. So who brought him up?
An aunt down in Florida. She, of course, made frequent visits down there until the kid got older. Then she decided to make use of the fact that Victor had lost both his sons, and so she came up with this plan to eliminate Olivia.
So she could then produce Dino as Victor's only surviving son?
Oh, and he could take over the family business.
And she and Victor could walk off into the sunset and live happily ever after.
The perfect crime.
She also encouraged Dino to become a part of the Carter mob as her spy until she was ready to make her move.
So when Dino became Olivia's ally...
Well, it probably couldn't have worked out better, even if she planned it herself.
But Julian showing up could have spoken that way.
Only somewhat. You got to realize that he never threatened Demetra. I mean, because he wanted no part of the mob. Her object all along was to get rid of Olivia. Unfortunately for her, Olivia had made countless enemies along the way, you two included.
Yeah, her obsession with Duke was perfect.
Exactly.
So Demetra set me up.
Only after the fact. What you didn't know was that when you went to Olivia's to kill her, Dino was already there, and he was hoping that you'd do his dirty work for him.
I nearly did.
Now, luckily for you, Julian's pounding on Olivia's door distracted you. It gave Olivia the chance she needed.
She grabbed the gun and she pushed me outside.
That's when the fun started. Dino was waiting for Olivia in her bedroom. He was wearing an outfit identical to his mother's. Now, when Olivia turned back, shutting the door in your face, he stepped out of the shadows, pointed the gun at her.
No. No!
She never had a chance.
Well, I mean, it's a perfect alibi for Dino, isn't it? Dressed like Demetra, and she's downstairs at the party, and if anybody sees him, they think it's a woman.
That's exactly the way it happened, too.
But if Cheryl and Julia were on the balcony, then I don't understand why didn't they see Dina?
Well, as they told us, the drapes were partially closed. All they could see was Olivia. And then, of course, Julian deflected Cheryl's shots, and they took off down the fire steps, so they didn't know whether they'd hit her or Anna had. Dino, he thought fast. He stepped in, switched the guns, hoping to incriminate you. Then he took off.
And that's who the bag lady saw sneaking out of the hotel.
Right. Dino went straight to Anna's, replaced the gun in her drawer. Unbeknownst to him, though, he deposited a few sequins off this duplicate of Demetra's purse that he carried. I've got to tell you, those sequins screwed me up for the longest period of time, because when checking Demetra's purse, there were none missing. I almost threw in the towel at that point. It was then that I started to suspect Dino, and I had his place searched. And guess what I found? The purse he carried. There's missing sequins on it, traces of gun oil, and there was a sample of his hair there as well. When the lad gave me a matchup, I knew he had a boy, unfortunately. Unfortunately, I was a tad too late. I sent the NYPD round to pick him up, and they then informed me he'd taken off for Port Charles, probably to snuff out Julian and Cheryl. The rest you know.
Brilliant. Thank you so much.
Pleasure's all mine.
Ready to go home?
Yeah.
Thank you. Sorry for all the screaming and shouting earlier on.
Just look after two very special people in my life. Well, lad, I have a bit of a thirst, you know. Yeah. Let's go somewhere sleazy and get cropped. On you, of course.
Of course.